Hi, Lucinda.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me on the podcast.
That's fine. Thank you for having me.
And yeah, we should have an interesting interview today because you've you cover a lot of marketing issues that people come across and solve a lot of marketing problems, uh, especially content marketing, um, conversion rate optimization, things like that.
hmm
Um, so I wanted to start with first how your background and how you got into doing what you do.
Okay, cool. So, my story starts a long, long time ago. When I was 17, I accidentally became a mother a bit sooner than I had planned to. And I knew pretty quickly that I didn't want to put my child in daycare and spend my life working for somebody else. I'd had one job working for someone else. And it wasn't for me. So at 18, I started my first business. I was actually in the fitness industry originally, and I had a dance fitness school, which I grew over the next 6 years and sold that when I was 24. Went on maternity leave and then realised, for my second child, realised that I like to do things and that maternity leave was a little bit boring. So I needed another project pretty quick. And that's what kind of took me towards marketing. So my husband had a business at the time that was a wedding entertainment company. It was a small company. He was running it on the side as a kind of side hustle thing. So I stepped in and joined that company. And over the next couple of years, we scaled it beyond six figures, with me running the business development and the marketing and sales side of things. In true style for me, I did that for a couple of years and then realised that I didn't really much like that either. And what I really wanted to do was sell everything that we owned, and backpack around Europe with the kids. So after a lot of people telling me I was crazy for wanting to do that, we gave the house up, we sold our car, we packed everything that we owned into a container, took the kids out of school and spent 2 years backpacking around Europe. Throughout that 2 years, we visited 18 countries and stayed in 31 different Airbnbs while I was working as a remote copywriter, doing marketing for other people. And yeah, I would sit on the beach in Montenegro and write sales pages for people.
Yeah, yeah.
But what was really interesting is over that time, I discovered that a lot of the clients, they didn't just need the words, right? You think, oh, you want blogs, you just need me to write the blogs for you. And actually what they needed was more of an end-to-end service. So I'd be writing the blogs, I'd be writing the emails. And then in a few weeks, I'd get in touch and I'm like, hey, how did the emails go? And they're like, oh, I haven't had time to send them yet. So what I did then was I started to build a team. I started to bring on more writers, and brought on a couple of assistants, some VAs to start uploading, scheduling and offering an end-to-end content marketing service. So we would do everything from the strategy, the planning, the writing, the uploading, the scheduling, the management of the data, checking the campaign performance, adjusting the strategy moving forwards. So when we came home in 2018, yeah, 2018, I decided that we'd lived in enough Airbnbs and I wanted my own pillow. It was very much a pillow that I missed. Then I scaled the company as a content agency for a few years, up until the big shift in the marketing industry when ChatGPT was launched. And from there, the business has progressed and changed again. We now do marketing strategy, conversion optimization. We still do the content side of things, and that's a really important part of marketing. And we'll talk a bit more about that later and about how
Mm.
AI doesn't solve all your problems when it
Yes.
comes to creating content.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting journey over the last 20 years. And along the way, I've been nominated for some awards and I've spoken on stages in front of
Mm.
hundreds of people and I get invited on things like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that gives you a brief history of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very interesting. And you started, relatively early too.
Very young.
I mean, what would you say was the biggest challenge that you faced, starting and growing your business?
Picking the one thing. So for the first kind of, let's say, 10 years of my business journey, I found it quite difficult to not be distracted by the shiny new object syndrome. I'd have a business and that's the business I'd be doing. But in my head, I'm like, well, that looks really good idea over here. And maybe we could do this over there. And, when I was young, I didn't yet have the self-understanding and discipline to just go, no, this is what we do. We do it really well. We scale it really well. And that's where we're going to grow.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. What would you say if someone was starting a marketing business or any business, when they are deciding what to concentrate on in terms of marketing, would it be where would they start?
So I had an interesting conversation with somebody recently. So I do lots of hobbies, and one of them is archery, and I go to an archery club down the road.
Oh,
And
wow.
one of the guys there, he sent me an email and said, "Oh, my son's really interested in getting into marketing. He's 19. He's not sure what to do. He's interested in marketing. Would you have a chat with him?" I'm like, yeah, fine. Give him my number. So he gave me a call, and the conversation that we had was actually, what I was saying is marketing is probably one of the fastest moving industries right now. With AI and technology, the way it's going to change more in the next 5 years than it has in the last 20. And if you want to be in marketing, great, make sure you're someone that's excited about that change, that's willing to keep up, that's not just looking for an easy, oh, this is what we do and how we do it ride, because you're going to have to innovate, you're going to have to shift, you're going to have to change. And look at it from a different perspective instead of going, oh, well, I want to do social media marketing, so I'm going to become a social media marketer. Look at it on a higher level and go, how can I future-proof myself in marketing by making sure that I'm understanding what's going on in that industry and training myself on the tools that are going to dominate this industry. It's very different. The next 5 years are going to be so different.
Is it going to be more difficult for business owners to do it themselves going forward because of the changes in the landscape?
No, I don't think so. I think what we're going to see, and what I have been seeing, is where a lot of business owners do it themselves and do it very badly because they think that the AI is the answer to all their problems. So, for example, let's take ChatGPT. So I can go to ChatGPT and I can program in a prompt and I'll say, please write me a 5-email campaign to launch my new funnel audit. Now, if I prompt it with that, it's going to write me 5 emails that launch a funnel audit. Now, if I'm not a skilled marketer, I'm not a skilled copywriter, how do I know that the emails it's written are actually any good? How do I know that they're anything other than some words on a page? Now, as a skilled marketer and a copywriter, I know with that prompt, what it's going to give me is rubbish. With the right prompt and the right knowledge, you can get it to do the right things. But what I'm seeing in the business world is the business owners are just doing that top level. They're going, ChatGPT can write all my emails for me. They go, they put a rubbish prompt in, they get some rubbish emails out. They don't know they're rubbish and they send them out to their list. And that's having an even bigger impact, kind of more industry-wide again, because people are using it on socials all the time, and the market is becoming disinterested. Like, people are becoming overwhelmed. There's so much content out there. It's not high quality. It's not engaging. It's not hitting their pain points. It's not getting them engaged, and they're starting to switch off. So there's a real danger that with all this possibility of AI making marketing easier, the wrong people are going to be using the tools and the output is going to be poor quality marketing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. For example, with landing pages, you see people creating landing pages with AI and just sticking it out and hoping for the best.
Yes, I see it across the board. I also see something else that is even more dangerous. It's a big word, is dangerous, but even more of a problem is I've got a few friends who are marketers, they're copywriters, etc. and they will get paid to do a project. They'll get paid to write the copy for a landing page. They send it to the client. The client then puts it into ChatGPT to analyze. And ChatGPT, because you've asked it for a report on it and how to improve it, will come back with something entirely different and say, oh, you could do it like this. And, my background, my interest and my passion is actually in psychology and human behavior and influence. So when we look at copy from that perspective, what ChatGPT is saying is wrong. And again, I don't want to come across as anti-AI. I'm not. I am very pro-AI. I love AI. It's a tool that has to be used in a skilled way if you want to get a good response. So with the landing pages, for example, the problems that I've seen people come up with when they're trying to use AI for it is mostly copy based, because you can use the likes of, like, I use Replit sometimes to help me build landing pages, web pages, etc. I use High Level a lot. Big fan of High Level. But with Replit, I can put my copy in and say, build me a landing page, and it will HTML code it if I want it. It can launch it, host it, etc. for me. The actual design side of it is okay. It doesn't do a bad job, but if you've given it the wrong copy in the first place, then the page is not going to push those buttons. We're trying to influence humans. And so we still have to have a really deep understanding of those humans' feelings and thoughts and pain points and leverage points. And that's where I find AI misses still. It won't forever. I'm sure at some point it will get developed to a point where you can say to it, my target market is women in their 30s who had a baby in the last 6 months, write me a sales page for this. And it will have developed to a point where it can analyze human behavior enough to pull something together that's good, but we're not there yet.
Yes. What would you say were the top things that should be on a landing page to make it convert better? The top.
So I was going through a client's landing page yesterday. So part of what I do when I work on a consulting basis is I will go through their funnel and I'll pull apart the whole sales page, the messaging, the process, the journey, the whole lot. And I was going through a page yesterday, and the bit that was missing, and the bit that I see missing a lot, is they're not hitting the pain points early enough, or they're making the language too fluffy. And especially this is in even bigger, this pulls us back to the AI problem again. AI, like ChatGPT, loves to use big picture fluffy language that doesn't really have a meaning.
Yeah.
So I'd say the things that your landing page has to have is you've got to have a headline that gets attention and tells the person they're in the right place. If it can do those two things, the headline has served its purpose. You've got to have really clear key messaging, which tells the person, I know what your problem is, I understand how you feel, I've got the solution, and here's why it will work for you. And then, there's all the other bits that all the other marketers talk about, that, you've got to have social proof in there. You've got to have a clear call to action. Those are all the bits that if you're building a landing page for yourself, you already probably know that you need those. But definitely the biggest mistake I see made repeatedly is not hitting those pain points hard enough, clear enough, and quick enough.
Yeah. I mean, being from an ads background, you could have have great ads, but if you're sending the ads to a poor landing page that doesn't convert, then you're wasting your money.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, or if you're sending them to a landing page that's making the wrong offer for the stage of the buyer journey that person's at. So another mistake I see, especially with ad funnels, is my clients quite often, when I kind of talk to them, they're like, well, I just want them to buy. And I'm like, well, we kind of have to take them on a journey. We can't just go, hey, you're scrolling on Instagram there, come buy my $300 product. It's not going to work. So sometimes the big problem I see is it's a big jump from ad to next step they want them to take is hand over a large amount of cash.
Yes. So you take them through a funnel, and the funnel has its own copy based on where they are in the funnel.
Yeah. So it's
And
So it's the way I see marketing is that they've got a mindset journey they have to go on before they're ready to buy. And depending on the product you're selling or the service you're selling and um, the how hot or cold they are at the point that you first have contact with them, that mindset journey will be different. I mean, for example, do they already know that they've got a problem? Or are you having to make them aware that they've got a problem? Because depending on whether they know already and they're seeking a solution or whether they don't know they've got a problem yet, will influence what we do in that first step of the journey.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if someone isn't following a funnel, then it's just it's too non-specific, isn't it? It's just too wide a scope, as it were. Regarding blog posts,
Mhm.
a lot of business owners and possibly marketers see it as that something to do, just to put on. They hear that blogs are good for SEO, but they don't really make very good quality content for the blogs.
Mhm.
What are would you say was the biggest mistakes that people make with writing blog posts for their website? Or do they need blog posts particularly in every case for their website?
So that's a really good question. When people come to me to talk about blogs, the first question I ask them is what's the purpose? Why are we doing it? You can be a very busy business owner doing all of the marketing, but without any kind of real strategy. And that generally doesn't lead to particularly good results. So you can use blogs in several different ways. So you can use blogs as a kind of nurture part of your sequence to educate, to engage. And the way people might find those blogs is you might link to them from your emails, you might link to them from your socials, but they're not part of an SEO strategy. They sit in the middle part of your funnel rather than top end part of your funnel where you're trying to get eyeballs on you. Or you might be blogging for SEO in that you're wanting to show up in search listings, etc. And depending on which you're doing would be a different strategy as to what the content should be and what the topics should be and the structure should be. So that is definitely the biggest mistake I see people make, is not getting really, really clear on the objective and making sure their strategy matches the objective that they've chosen. The SEO blogging is really interesting, and it's one that I'm having a lot of conversations with people in the marketing world at the moment, is because the AI overviews in Google have shifted behavior online. So it used to be that informational-based searches would be a great way to get pulled up in the search results and get people to come through to your site. Nowadays, information-based searches, the amount of traffic coming through from information-based searches has reduced because, if I search, how do I make pancakes? Well, the Google AI overview shows me that. I no longer have to click through to a blog that's going to tell me their life story before they tell me how to make pancakes. So I think the blogging and the SEO world is one of the parts of marketing that's going to shift real fast. A lot of my clients that I'm working with at the moment, we are working on an SEO strategy as part of that, but where we're focusing is actually AI SEO, so GEO, so getting
Yeah.
pulled up in the search results in AI searches. And getting ready for when Google rolls out, I think it's called AI mode they've got coming, which is going to change the way people behave online massively.
So you think in the future, or very near future, it'll be GEO. It'll be SEO is kind of not dead, but maybe smells funny.
It's changing. I think that's it. It's not dead. Nothing. It's rare that something becomes dead from a technological advance like this. I mean, if we go back a long time and we talk about the yellow pages, so the yellow pages when I first started out in business and helped my husband grow his wedding business, yellow pages brought us loads of business. We advertised, we bought a big advert in the yellow pages, and we got lots of customers. Now, over time, when the internet started to to kind of take hold properly, well, Yellow Pages, they didn't shift their model fast enough. People are still searching, people are still looking, and businesses would have still paid money to get Yellow Pages to help them get those customers if they'd moved and adjusted how they were operating. Now, I know they had Yell.com, etc., but in my opinion, they were a little bit slow to move on that and not quite innovative enough in how they were going to do it. And it will be the same with SEO, GEO. SEO is not going to be dead. We just have to shift and adjust and adapt and go, okay, how do we now? We still want to, search engine optimization. People will still be searching. We still want to be optimized for it. But what does that mean today? How does that translate into today's world? I do think we're going to see a big reduction in traffic from information-based search. So we've already started to see it, but I think more so. And so it's probably going to get more competitive for the buyer intent search terms. So, for example, I've got one client that's a roofing company, and how much does a flat roof cost? They come up in the AI results loads. They get pulled up in there. But that's not actually pulling traffic through to the site at all. Whereas if you search flat roofing London, well, they get pulled up onto the first page of Google, and those people do click through to the site because they actually want to go to the site and see about the flat roofing company in London. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's interesting how has changed. The behaviour and also the focus, I guess, of how you approach SEO. It's quite fascinating. Do you think there is a role for email marketing?
Massively. Even more so. So I know that everybody's been very excited about socials for the last however many years. And they're like, oh, it's all about social media. And socials play a really big part in marketing. I'm a big fan of utilizing them in the right places. But email marketing is where you have control. It's where you're in charge of who gets your message and when. You don't have to game algorithms. Yes, you have to make sure you've got your deliverability set up right and your domain's going out okay and you're not getting hit by spam filters, etc. But it's nowhere near as challenging to get in front of the right people at the right time without having to pay to play like you do with paid ads, etc. on Meta. But not only that, I think as AI starts to dominate online more, which we are already seeing. I mean, my 15-year-old son the other day said to me, he's like, I've stopped looking at YouTube shorts because they're just all AI generated. He's like, it's all AI videos and AI voiceovers, and he's lost interest. And I think people will lose interest over time when we no longer feel it's real. And when that happens, what email marketing allows you to do is to really build that human relationship. You're showing up in their inbox and if you do it right, if you do it wrong, and if you just pump it into GPT and say, write me some emails, well, then you're not going to be building that relationship. And that's what that middle part of your funnel is all about, is about building relationship, educating, overcoming objections, building trust. And email plays a really, really critical part in that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a role for AI in email in terms of writing emails. Do you think there's, whether it's just to correct your grammar?
Yeah. So, and again, I'm not anti-AI at all. I'm very pro-AI, but it doesn't replace the need for the human skill set. So if you ask me to write an email campaign, I am going to use AI to help me, but I'm going to know exactly what to prompt it. I'm going to know exactly what to pull out and cut out and edit and say, no, not that, and scrap that and do this and so on. So it is a tool that's used in the process, but it's not a tool that can do the job fully for me to the standard of which I require. So if, for example, if we've got people who are not marketers listening to this, then the question becomes, or should I use AI for it? Well, you've got two choices. And these two choices are kind of the same as they've always been, which is you can learn to write good copy yourself, or you can outsource to someone who knows how to write it. And ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or whichever AI you choose to use is not yet someone who knows how to write it. It can generate some words. It can pull them together in a reasonably good way. If you prompt smartly, you can, for example, prompt it and say, write me an email campaign in the style of Frank Kern. So you pick one of the big marketers who knows what they're doing, who's really good at email marketing, and it will do it kind of in that style, but you still have to know what you're looking for. You still have to know, okay, is it hitting their pain points? What are their pain points? Is the language right? Is it using the right words for the type of person I'm talking to? Would they say that? Is that going to hit them where they're at? Is it hitting the right stage of their mindset in each email? So yes, AI has a place in email marketing. Yes, it can help you to write emails, but it doesn't excuse you from having to know what good emails are.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, a lot of viewers and listeners of this podcast, they're small business owners,
Mhm.
and they need to choose maybe a marketing tool to use or strategy to start with. What would you suggest would be the best place to start? Would it be socials, content? Would it be email marketing? Where, if you had a limited,
Oh, okay.
you don't have an unlimited budget, but you
Mhm.
need to concentrate on one thing.
Okay.
If there is an answer to that, of course. You may
So
not
so
answer.
there is an answer, but it's not the kind of answer you're going to be expecting.
No, it's fine.
There is no answer of, oh, there is a platform, you should do email or you should do social. Like, no, that's not what the answer is. The answer is you need to take a step back and look at your marketing strategically rather than tactically. So each platform is a tactic. It's like, I want to get more leads. One of the tactics is we're going to use Google Ads. And that's where most business owners start, and especially the smaller business owners who have a lower budget. They're therefore generally less experienced, in which case they get easily led by the ads online going, all you have to do is meta ads or whatever it is. And really what you need to do is you need to take a step back and you need to look at the marketing you've got already and look at the funnel and try and figure out where the biggest opportunity for growth is. So is it that we don't have enough leads coming in the top, but the leads that we do have convert really well on our sales page and into paying customers? Or is it that you've got loads of leads coming in the top, but nobody's buying? In which case you need to look at something that sits in the middle of the funnel. So if, for example, you've not got enough leads coming in, I would be looking at Meta ads, Google ads. Those are the quickest, most controllable way to get more leads in. And I know a conversation that I have over and over with business owners who say, oh, but I've tried paid ads before and it just burnt loads of my cash. So they don't work. And my answer to that is first off, you need to make sure you've got someone good that's managing them. Like, get someone who knows what they're doing to manage them. And secondly, make sure you've put together a clever campaign. It's no good just switching ads on and sending them to your homepage. Like, you need to think about, okay, I'm interrupting this person scrolling with a cup of tea. Where's the head at? What's the tiny thing I can ask them to do to move along the journey? What do I need to do next to get them engaged and interested in what I have to sell, and do it properly, and track your data. So I'm a massive data geek. Like, I get very excited about talking about data, because that's where the real power in funnel optimization is it's actually looking in the numbers. It's not about, yes, I can use my 20 years experience and gut instinct to work out what I think is going to work. And the odds are it won't be very far off what will work. But what really tells me what's working is the numbers. Like, we track, with the clients that I work with, we track their ad campaigns. We obviously track all the Google stuff, the impressions, the click-through rate percentage, the cost per lead, all of that. We then track what percentage convert on the page, how many go through to be a sale, what cost per set. Like, there's all kinds of numbers that we look at, and I can look at those numbers and go, okay, so this number here, that one's a little bit low. What do we need to do to push that up? And that can have a really big impact. Now, again, I find the smaller business owners don't get into the numbers. And especially, I do appreciate not everybody's excited about data as I am. But yeah, so going back to your original question of what would I, if these are smaller business owners and they're thinking, oh, marketing, what should I be doing? What you should be doing is looking at your whole funnel, figuring out where your biggest problem is. So if it's top of funnel, look at getting some ads running. If you've got enough new people coming in, but they're not converting, look at optimizing your sales page or changing the call to action, as in making it a smaller step. So are you asking them for something that's too big straight away? And again, if it's middle funnel, I'd be looking at email marketing, because we've got that lead. Let's start having a conversation with them regularly. Let's start nurturing them a little bit more. And yeah, I think, does that answer your question? It's not a straightforward, they should do email marketing answer, but
yeah, I think that's a very good point about numbers. Because marketing is nearly all about, well, a major part of it is numbers, isn't it?
It's a really, I think what I like about it is it combines creativity with numbers and data. So it takes two complete polar opposite things and squidges them together. And that, when you combine those two things, that's when you get the really good results.
Didn't Nigel Botterill say marketing is creativity plus numbers, or something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah. But it certainly makes sense to me. And it's a very good point. So now we're going to have a crunching gear change with the interview now. We're going to ask more informal questions. I call them my smash hits questions. But
okay, I'm ready.
What smash hits is. But so the first question is, what is your favourite colour of sock?
Oh, my favourite colour of sock.
Green,
all
red.
My socks have unicorns and cats on them.
Okay.
So
it's not a colour.
No, it's not a colour. No, I'm not colour specific, but they do have to be not boring. I don't like boring socks.
Okay, that I agree with that. What about your favourite? I'm just check my notes here actually. Yeah, dogs or cats?
Cats. I have a cat. And I'm surprised, actually. She normally sits just up behind me whenever I'm on a call. I'm surprised that she's not come to join us. But yeah, definitely cats. Although I have to say I did love her a little bit less when she was running around my house at 2 a.m. this morning shouting for no reason at all.
Okay. What's her name?
Flora.
Flora. Okay.
Yes, she was a rescue cat from Crete.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So how old is she?
We think she's 9. They found her in a dustbin when she was about 10 days old. And then she was hand-reared for a bit, and then she came over to the UK. And now she is treated like a princess.
Wow. Okay, that's a story in itself then.
Yeah.
Your favourite, tea or coffee? That was the next question.
Tea. Very much tea. Do not like coffee.
With sugar?
Sugar, but no milk.
Oh.
Weird, right?
Black tea.
Black Yorkshire tea, made like builder's tea.
Okay.
With no milk and 1 sugar.
Yeah. Digestive or no digestive?
No, you can't ruin the tea with a digestive.
Yes, that's true. I'm adding to the questions here. I'm being a bit naughty.
Oh, that's fine.
Favourite book?
So I had to think about this. I read a lot and have read a lot over a very long time. And I think my favourite, if I have to pick one, is The Courage to be Disliked. I don't know if you've ever read that one. I'm big on mindset, and I honestly believe that our lives are shaped 95% by our mindset and attitude and choices. And The Courage to be Disliked is all about how happiness is a choice, about choosing to separate out what's your responsibility and what's other people's responsibility. So, for example, if I do something, it's my responsibility to do it well, and it's not my responsibility for you to be happy about it.
So not give a toss.
It has, yes. The other one that I toyed with when I was thinking about which book is my favourite, The other one that I very much like as well is, I think it's Dan Meredith, the subtle art of not giving a. I don't know if you've read that one.
No.
It's
But
a swear word, and I'm trying very hard not to swear on your podcast.
yeah, because then I'd have to make it
Tough to.
explicit content.
Yes. I've done
Oh,
well so far.
yeah. Well, but that's okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. What would you say is the most inspiring person you've met?
So I
Or
thought
who would you
about,
say?
I gave this one a bit of thought as well. And I'd actually have to say my auntie. So my aunt, she's a stunt actress. When she was in her 20s, she was a single parent and decided she wanted to be a stunt actress. And she trained incredibly hard. You've got to reach a really high discipline, and I think high standard. I think it's 5 or 6 disciplines. So martial art and trampolining and driving and all kinds of stuff. So she trained really hard through her 20s. And then went on to have an incredibly successful career in a very, very tough industry. With no, she had nothing that gave her a leg up on that at all.
Wow.
It was all from her. She's now a little bit older and works as a stunt coordinator. But she's been on, she's been in Harry Potter, and I think she's done James Bond. She's top of the thing. And
Yeah.
I always remember something that she once told me, which was, she says, in stunts, when someone phones you up and says, oh, we've got a potential job, can you dive off a 50-meter board or whatever it is? She says, what you learn is you say yes and you learn fast. And I apply that to my life regularly, as, when someone says, oh, can you come and speak on, stage in front of 500 people? I'm like, yes. And then spend the next few weeks going, right, how do I prepare for this?
Yeah, well, that's definitely a good strategy, I think. Richard Branson, I believe, recommends that as well.
Yeah. So yeah, say yes and learn fast.
And what's your favourite quote?
Oh,
You might have said it already.
Favorite quote? Actually, my favorite quote is, I'm not religious at all, but I very much apply the serenity prayer to myself regularly. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one. So it's, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the strength to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Wow. Yeah, I've not heard that before.
I repeat it to myself probably on a daily basis, quite often in conversations with my teenagers.
Is it a Buddhist?
No, I think it might have a Christian basis.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, I've not come across it. I've learned something up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ever see me whispering to myself, grant me the serenity.
So we went from the colour of socks to the serenity prayer.
Yeah.
In one go, pretty much. Okay, that's all the smash hits questions. You'd be glad to know. So finally, so someone's watching this and they want to use your services or want to book you for a consultation. How do they contact you? What's the next step?
Cool. So the best thing to do is go to my website, which is strategicmarketingevolution.com. On there, you can have a look and see the different ways that I work with people. You can book a call. It's just a 15-minute chat. It's not a sales call. It's just an opportunity to ask me some questions and for me to ask you some questions and see if we are a good fit. You can also follow me on Instagram. Just find Lucinda Dawes. If you want a nice combination of pictures of my cat and really useful marketing stuff.
Okay, that's a good sales pitch. Yeah, I'll put the details either up there or down there, depending on where this podcast appears.
Perfect.
But yeah, I really appreciate you joining me and giving lots of value to the viewers and listeners.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me. It's been fun.
Very educational too.
Cool.
Right. Well, I'll hopefully catch up soon.
Perfect.